Too many days in the darkness, without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every start, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With every start, we are born again. Open your heart.
Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Got messages over there. There we go, they're sitting there, that's good. Right, just because people were asking last time, do you remember? Dad joke, got two. So anyway, I was reading a book on glue the history of glue the other day. It was fascinating, just couldn't put it down. So these this one comes from Tony Blackburn. So if you're old, you'll get this next one. So I decided to sell my entire collection of Dusty Springfield records. Now I just don't know what to do with my shelf. Anyway, so I did say I'd do a dad joke, but there you go. You got two for the price of one. 2 for 1. Right, yeah, so, hello. I've got a list. So, sorry I didn't make last week. It was true I was a bit jet lagged, but that wasn't actually the main reason. We had a whole load of stuff going on, and I hadn't seen Alfie for a while, and, you know, it was a whole mixture of things. So, it was kind of true I was jet lagged and tired, but that wasn't the, you know, it wasn't, you know, it was other things going on as well. So I put that because it was easier to explain. Right. Yeah. I've done some work updating the website. So if you go onto the website now, when you go on it, the first thing you see is this page. Paul's been busy, so you can all throw some love to Paul Kitchen, who's on the thing here. Tell him how much you love him. So we did. We updated all. I like. Do you know why I said we? Updated the graphics. So redone this, and there's a black version of this now. So now there's a new. This is a new page. I'm just going to flip through it. You can see it's much better laid out. It's all been rewritten. Phil has taken all the text and completely reworked the text based on now it's a product going forward. Still got the old nostalgia nerd. There's still some new bits to go into it, which I'm waiting for Paul. Some cool bits, but you can see done a bit of work here, and I've made it look a bit nicer. Keep going down. There's some nice animations here. Usual video. This is the one you want to watch. The deep dive. That's the one you want to watch if you don't know what's going on here. What is it? Then you've seen these if you've seen the Kickstarters. Goes down to the Apple one, the TM panel, that. Now at the bottom, you can see I got Paul to do a render of it in black because it's very hard to show black, as you can see. But there's one there you can't, but you didn't see it. I got dimensions. People always ask me dimensions, so it's in there, and also the packaging. If you've questioned about the shipping, that's the reason why. Okay, massive packaging. In fact, actually, oh no, I'm jumping ahead. Let's not jump ahead. And also, as you can see, we've got a load of images down here, so you can click on these images, open them up. There are 4K versions of these. These are 1280-720 if you want to share them. Please leave the pre-order at checkmate if you do share them. Don't keep them as they are. Obviously, they're for a reason. I use them advertising. I pay Paul to do them. You know the story. Okay, so let's see if I can get rid of that picture. There we go. So some nice pictures there. I've also updated in the shop. I've removed some bits. So now you go into here. So we now have the starter packs, and also now these start at $3.99 now. So this is the standard pack. So let's open up the standard pack. As you can see, this has all been updated, been tidied up, made a bit neater. There's a link back to the main page. The standard one basically doesn't have the HDMI to USB converter, and it doesn't have the extra. Sorry about that. Hang on. I've obviously had the camera on for a little while. The base 399 version doesn't have the HDMI to USB adapter, and it doesn't have the extra HDMI ports. So you have one input and one external HDMI, one internal HDMI. So for most people, actually, that's the 399 version will probably do a lot of people. And you've got your 2 free slots, internal slots. You can upgrade later on. So anyone who says it's an expensive monitor actually doesn't realize what these kind of monitors go for. If you buy an industrial monitor like this kind of, you're talking this price anyway. So I'm not taking any criticisms on price. Anyway, so that starts $3.99. You'll expect to see that around. But as you can see, again, this is the video we want to watch, the good, the bad, and the ugly, where I basically slag off my product. The idea of doing this is very simple. It's so that I'll tell you the bits I think you won't like, and then you don't buy it. It's a lot easier than you going, oh, I'm not bothering to read everything, not bothering to research everything, not going through all the stuff that we put in there and go, well, it's not good enough. Well, you know, if it doesn't suit you, so I try to explain to you why you might not like it, but all the good reasons are in there as well. So I think that's a fairer way of doing it, and it just cuts out people that maybe are waiting for the next version later. And it also mentions the future, what we got planned, what we want to do, etc., etc. So it's an hour and 10 minutes long. Tough, you know what I'm like, but I did actually trim it a lot. But it is indexed as well, which is quite handy, so you can go along and look at the index. Anyway, so that's there. I think that's pretty useful. China. Let's go back to China. I'm going to get to questions. So if you've got your questions, shove them in the chat, and I'll get to them in a minute. Here's my bit. Today's beer. Don't think you can see it. Basic Peroni, 0 alcohol. I'm off the alcohol till my birthday in December. Right, so China went actually really well. I've mentioned all this before anyway. But China was good. The plan was to go out there and be there for 3 days, 4 days. I had meetings out there I had to do, but I also wanted to be there for 3 or 4 days to ensure the assembly was going okay. I turned up. They'd already built one. It looked good. They 2 cables they hadn't plugged in, but they hadn't got round to it. There was 1 or 2 minor little things, nothing serious, which we tweaked while I was there. So within 3 hours, let's get a lunch, and we just went for lunch. And I had 2 days sitting around doing nothing. So yes, it was good. Was it worth going? Now I do wonder, but I had 2 really good meetings as well. So. One of them was the Pandora. Now, most of you don't know what the Pandora is. If you don't know, then fine. But I'm paying for a custom Pandora board to fit inside the monitor. If you want to know what Pandora is, just search Pandora arcade boards. Basically, it will turn it into an arcade machine. So that's how, and it'll be relatively inexpensive. Not as inexpensive as I thought, because that was with a really slower chip, and we're trying to go for a kind of a mid-tier one. The aim is to make the Dreamcast run well, and the 64, and that'll be about the limit. But it'll play anything else. So it's that's a nice plug-in board, and my aim is to get that in for under 100, as far under 100 as possible. I will have to see. But that would be a really good board. I am out with the people making... one thing I did actually forget, which I can't believe I did, the whole thing with the external VGA, if you plug something into it, it disables the internal stuff. I've got to actually email them about this. We got talking about other things, so I'm going to come back to that. We'll work on something to do with that. So what we're hoping is to make a dongle you plug in with a switch to literally disconnect. So we're going to do something with that. Unfortunately, as you probably know, Appy's not well. He is slowly getting better, but he's not out of the woods. So I'm not pestering him with work. So that's okay. So anyway, so we went to meet other people. One big thing was while I was there, as you know, I paid for 1,000 sets of parts to make products, and I paid for another 500 sets. So we've now got 1,500 sets. They've already assembled about 300 or 400 monitors. That's already been done. They're off for 2 or 3 days holiday at the moment. So I'm hoping within a couple of weeks we can get a container in there. Get the first container. Will be about 650 monitors. And then 3 or 4 weeks after that, because they'll have enough to continue, then they'll be able to roll into the next lot. So we can make 1,500 as it stands. The good news on the credit cards, it's meant that a lot of people have paid. I'm not going to go. I know that someone actually mentioned. Well, first of all, thanks. I did put a post about the people not paying their balances and thinking that they'd already paid it, and I've already mentioned that, and I'm not going to do it again because I was called a whiner, which I don't want to be. That I don't want to be a whiner, but you know, there's a lot at stake here, not just your monitor. All right. There's a lot of stake here for my family, so cut me some slack. But I don't want to be that person. But so I sent out a load, and some people just having to delay. That's fine. But it just means that the next 500 may get delayed. But that's where we are. So at the moment, 1,200 people are paid. 1,200 monitors have been paid for. So, and there's 1,500 being assembled. So there's more than enough in the second batch for people to pay and get it in the second batch, which should follow on 4 weeks later. So there'll be one come in. It'll be 6 weeks here, but it'll be another load, and then so they should come in, and then 4 weeks later I'll get another load arrive. So, and then hopefully 4 weeks later I'll get another load. So if you've paid, we're on that part of the journey now. So the assembly's going well. And what else I put here? Assembly. Yeah. The credit card's gone down well. Obviously now it's much better than the previous one, because the code I had, every now and then it would drop the session and you'd pay, but it wouldn't update the site. And now the new provider, much better integration software. So I've done a much better job of integrating, so we've not had any problems with them. It even comes back and says if it's failed, it marks failed or expired or pending or paid, which is great news. And there's also a box there for shipped or not shipped or waiting. So the site's been updated. Still working, doing some minor improvements, but I'm trying to get the site as nice as possible. Let's go back to here. So yeah, that's that. The credit cards are now mainstream. Now I've got to first of all, thanks for paying by credit card. Seriously, right? But there are quite a lot of people who are going through the hoop, jumping the hoops to pay through Wise. They're the ones that are going to get the printed manuals. A thank you, because it saves you. It's surprising. I mean, it's 2-3% on them, and I haven't put that on the cost. You'll probably notice I've not added that to the cost, because I didn't want to do that. But of course, the people who've helped out by going to Wise, it's actually saving a lot of money. Making a big difference. So that's why there's a manual in there. Everyone's going to get the poster. I've got to actually get them ordered, but I'm gonna put everyone back to the project is going to get the thank you for backing the. I've already mentioned this, but thank you for backing it. Nice little A3 poster, which I've done before. I think it's A3, so it'll just lay flat in the box. Another one created by Paul, so everyone will get one of them. Right, so something I suppose kind of now you're not going to know if this is true. You take my word. This, I'll tell you what, let me go. This first, ignore the hole because I've got to put, I'm putting a computer in it. The first production unit, yeah? And that one is for Peter Lee, Nostalgia Nerd. Here is the final box. Now, we didn't go colour with this one, mainly to save cost, because the idea was they're very strong boxes. And if anyone, just so you can see, I hope my daughter's not watching because she won't be happy. For cost reasons, initial stages, we've had to go with, if I can get this up, as you can see it open, flaps up, we've got that stuff inside. I didn't want that, but we had to do that. But again, Paul designed it. I think it looks fantastic. So yeah, but it's a simple colour. It's a simple colour this time. Now this might not be very interesting, but basically this box, the other box sits inside this box. So you've got really thick cardboard for the first box, loads of packaging, and this really strong box to put it in. And that one has flown from China, so it's a good test. It's come by DHL, I think. So they've probably thrown it at the back of the plane and it turned up and it worked. Now, there was one interesting little thing. I will mention this. There's a connector inside that plugs into the OLED board, because everyone gets the OLED board now. And it popped off during the flight because I couldn't figure out how it was working. So it's easy to put back in. But what we're going to do is look into see if we can do something when they arrive to make it. It just turns out that I think the connector is slightly bigger than it fits, and once you put it in, it's fine. But it's only because it was flying through the air, probably thrown a couple of times. It just popped off because it's not. All the other connectors have got clips, and they clip in, so they won't ever come out. But this one, it's not. It's just the board, the OLED board. It's just got 4 pins. So you might find if you open it up, there might be a little bit of hot melt just above it. Hot glue, sorry, not hot melt. Hot glue just above it, just to stop that in transit. So we're going to look into a potential way of maybe getting different connectors, slightly smaller, just to go on. I can't change the OLED board pins, but I might be able to correct it. But I've made 2,000 cables, so that's something we've got to fix. The rest, everything else was absolutely fine. So quite pleased with that. So this unit is ready for Peter Lee, Nostalgia. I'm just waiting for him to get sort out a time for me to go over. You can see now all the monitors come with the little OLED because 90% people buying the scaler, so you need that. If you don't want that, you can take it out, and there's there'll be a blank in there you can put in its place. And there's also now we've got this front mounting headphone socket, which automatically turns off the sound from the speakers, which again is something that's pretty good. So we're on that journey. This is a way better product than we promised. These things are not cheap. This is bloody expensive to make, and so I hope you're as pleased with this as I am, because I'm quite happy to say this is it. This is the product I wanted to make. It's that good. Appy's done an absolutely amazing job on the electronics. Everybody who's helped me, if you're interested in this kind of thing, open up and look at the boards. How wonderful the boards are inside. clean. I got they had to. The people are making them bought a cleaning machine to make me perfectly clean boards. So I'm just really pleased with this product. All we got to do now is sell it, and hopefully, as I said, if you just want the base version, the 399 one is a bloody good monitor, because now I just look on the product page to see what it does and what it doesn't do. But it is a good little monitor. You've got your HDMI, you've got an external HDMI VGA, which you can now. It's obviously 31 kilohertz, not 15. You've got a couple of composite inputs with AV, so 2 independent AV composite and stereo audios, which is really good for a lot of people. That'd be enough, which I think is pretty good. But of course, then if you're going pretty hardcore, then you want to get the scaler, put the scaler in. Now I'm not anyone who's not a backer can't. They have to have, if they want the scaler, they buy it with the S-Video board. It's not separate. The backers get to really pick and choose what they want. But the starter pack, so it's 399 base one, then there's a starter pack for 449 that has the USB. It's basically it allows you to take the USB out and plug it into a computer to record from, because some of these capture cards don't understand 1280 by 1024. So you can buy it later if you want to. You don't have to buy it straight away. But it also comes, the starter pack comes with many more. It's got 6 inputs, HDMI inputs, 4 outside, 2 inside. So it's worth the extra if you want it, but you don't have to have it. Standard monitor, even the standard 399 monitor has the HDMI out. So if you're just going to plug it into another monitor, or you want your capture card supports it, 399, you're done. You're sweet. Or it might be, for example, that you happen to have a retro Tink scaler already and you just want to plug it in. Then that's a really good choice. So end of the sales pitch. Yeah, so that's quite important. So that there is the first one. And I'm just over the moon with it. Yeah, I've done that. Right, so again, thanks to everyone for backing the project. I know I might have seemed like I'm moaning, but we're at that stage now where I've got to. Luckily, I budgeted pretty well, but I did budget for thinking that only 5% of people would be late or cancel or whatever. But it didn't quite work out like that. It's about 20% odd. So I'm still hoping that people will continue to send in their balances, because we was going to make 1,000 second batch, but I've made 500, which is more than enough for the people who've paid already. But we're going to wait for a few more to pay, and then we'll order the next 500. So hopefully they'll roll in. So hopefully within 2 or 3 weeks they'll start rolling in, and we can get that lot going. Right, waffled. Let me just have a look at what questions we got. Probably a bit late to ask, but hopefully you can hear me. It's a bit late. Yeah, you're right. The images that Paul pumps out are awesome, aren't they? He is there, so swell. He sits at home all the time, and of course he doesn't get all the feedback. So I've been sending him, but it's nice. He's sitting here and he's watching, and so that's all good. Hello, Starius. Good to see you. Hi, and hi, all. Yo, thanks. Hello. Is this thing on? Yes, I hope it is. A Christian gaming joke, I presume. No. We have audio. Good. Yeah, the joke went down well. Groan. Yeah, obviously. Dad joke. What'd you expect? I thought you'd do some dusty joke. There. Yes, very good. 2 jokes for the price of 1. There you go. See? Oh, I want my money back. Did you open the floodgates for the waiting list, and how many people jumped the gun and fired up their credit cards? Oh, okay. Well, that's a fair question. So it wasn't really floodgates. As I said, we've had about 220, 230 people pay by credit card. On the waiting list, I had a whole load, but 100 odd have ordered so far, pre-ordered. Again, they're back of the queue, but they're in that. Well, to be honest, if people don't pay their balance before they're here, they'll get theirs first. But yeah, so but I need to get the PR going, because at the moment, it's not a cheap monitor. It is not a cheap monitor, but it's not an expensive monitor. I honestly think that. But it is what it is. But the standard one of 399, I think, is actually really good value. But anyway, enough sales again. Proud supporter of Paul's Patreon. Yeah, that's good. Love the new images. I must say this monitor got expensive for me after paying for it. I got okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you do the 399 is good, because if you can live with like HDMI, normal VGA, and AV composite inputs, which are quite rare, if you can live with that, 399, yeah. It's only when you start adding the bits in, and our scaler, our scaler is 139. So if you're not a backer, because backers can get just the one part, because it comes in two parts. If you're not a backer, you have to buy the whole thing. So it's 139, but that gives you so many inputs. It's just crazy. It's pretty much all in one card. Plug it in, and you've got pretty much everything you need. I know some people are going, what about Next? What about some stations? We are aware of this, and we will try and sort something out later. Right. Question for later. Where are we supposed to see the credit for the cheaper bags? Oh, okay, right. So I have already credited everyone on this. So if you bought one of the original bags at £95, I think it was, because I slashed the price, I basically hid that one, and so I bought the new one at 50 quid. So you pay £45 over. I have been through the whole list, and I've added it to everyone's account. However, it only works when you... now, people have been in touch with me. A lot of people have come on, and they've actually wanted to. And so when they've added the second one, they can see the credit, and they're getting their £45 credit. If you haven't added that, trust me, it's sitting there on your account. Now, the reality of this is, it is sitting in your account. It's ideal if you want to buy something else, so that'd be great. Yeah, thanks very much. But if not later on, I can't do it now, because I've got to be careful with the money, because I've said, a handful of people, about 15 people so far want refunds. And I've said, yes, you're on the list, you'll have to wait. Once I ship, then once everyone's got theirs that they pay, I didn't want to cause any issues with getting them out. Once I've done that and we're moving on, then we can start going through this list and refund people. And it'll be the same people. If you don't want to buy anything else from me ever again, and you've got £45 credit sitting there, I'll refund it. Yeah. So I've put it on your account. It's like your Kickstarter credit. It's the same as that. I've just put it on there, fresh £45. So you will see that there, but you won't notice it unless you create a new order. Yesterday's technology. Yes, that was Phil. Sounds like the smart choice of Pandora. N64 would be too slow. It would be putting people off. It would be too. Yeah. So the N64, apparently you can upscale it. Now I'm waiting. They're actually, because all their code. This is the Pandora. Okay. It's a company that make a number of boards, but they're kind of high-end ones. They're not like the cheap ones you buy off AliExpress. So these are the ones that really go into arcade machines. So they've got their custom software is all 16:9. I know they're going arcade machines, but they've got these widescreen displays. So they're doing a custom layout for me. It's cost a bit of money, obviously, but I've committed to stuff. But there's a medium one, and then there's a really fast one. The really fast one is just too expensive. They're based on Rockwell chips, the good ones. So they're going to be good little boards. And the Dreamcast is on the medium one we're going to go for. The Dreamcast, nearly all the games are perfect. You probably know which ones they are. There's 2 or 3 that might struggle a little bit. But we're going to see about that, because I haven't tested it. But there's a really fast one, and I'm hoping they're going to make the board so a little module so you can put a fast one or the slow one on and choose. So we're still discussing that at the moment. This is going to come later. I'm not adding it. It'll be next year, right? But we will have custom software. Now, they've also licensed about 100 odd games, so we can officially and legally include a number of games. And they have software in there that you can upgrade it, download games and pay for them. And also you'll be able to put your own games on. So there's folders, and that's what I'm checking at the moment. So you'll be able to chuck your own games on, and it'll hopefully be fantastic. So we're gonna wait and see till I get them, but that should be a really good thing for next year. It also means that it's a powerful ARM system, so you should be able to do some other stuff with it as well. So we'll see what happens with it. But of course, if you want to put a Raspberry Pi 5 in it, you can do that as well. It's only £35 for the fitting kit. Yeah, you can do that instead. Any update on Appy? He's still very unwell. Well, he is improving slowly, but he's not out of the woods. And I'm not. He doesn't care if I talk. I don't want to talk about it at the moment, but he's not out of the woods. And I'm going to go and see him next. No, I'm going to see him this Thursday. So I'm going to take him out for dinner. He can actually go out for dinner. Rita's chomping at the bit to go out for dinner. She likes going out for dinner. So we can go out and first time, because he had to be careful of his immune system was a bit low, but he's much better now. So he's improving, but he's not out of the woods. If you ordered a black monitor, are the expansion board back plates still white? Just curious. No. So I've got obviously the answer is no. There's matching frames. Yeah. Now, as we get later, we should be fine for all of the monitors, because when they come with a. You don't even know. They come with an Appy's board in it with the right color frame, and then because 90% of people are having it, and it was saving storage in the container. If I'm shipping one without it, I just put a couple of blanks on it. Yeah. So, and we have black and white. We know it's like 2/3 white, 1/3 black. So I've ordered that number for the frames. It gets a bit difficult when you get to the end. It should be okay, but there shouldn't be any problems. I don't going by the numbers, I think we've ordered the right amount, so we should be all right on that. But the answer is yes. I could show you on the monitor, but it's that one there's got black ones in it as well. Nice to see everything's coming together. Thanks. Any news on Aruda panel option? Okay, so I've asked Steve from the Aruda company if we can do a chat, which it won't be live. I'll pre-record it and probably edit it. Take out things we didn't mean to say. No, so we're gonna do that soon, so we can talk about the project. They are committed to this, so that's good. As for now, some people have been asking, I want to order the extras to put in the Aruda. You don't want a Appy scaler if you're buying the Aruda, right? So I've told people no. You're better off at the moment just ordering the standard monitor, as I've said many times. Some people, there's about 50 people have ordered chassis for the Aruda, and that just means that I will then ship from China to them chassis with their names, and you then pay for it. Now, you have to understand, these Aruda panels and the controllers ain't cheap, right? Right, they ain't cheap. But they're being custom made. So, but again, I'm not in control of this. Now, just for fun, I did manage to track, and now a lot of you are going to freak out, but don't let me finish, and don't cut this bit out. Don't edit this, right? But which means you all will now. So I did track down some OLED panels, but I need to make I need to buy 25,000 to get, because they will be custom made. So maybe later, if this thing is a massive success, then maybe later we could do it. But bear in mind, you will have to sell a kidney, or sell, a couple of children into slavery. Sorry, that was from an old film. Yeah, so there is potential. So we are looking. I'm always looking at the future. It would be great if he made a colour matched IBM PC Chassis clone someday. Yeah, they never made it in black. Hang on. Oh no, colour matched IBM PC Chassis. Do you know, I'm kind of tempted because but I always liked the 5170. It was the first computer. At least I think it was an IBM, or it was a complete clone of the chassis. I went to a computing course at uni many, many years ago when the 286 was like the beast. And I remember it had a Model M keyboard, and I really enjoyed working on that. Yes, I've got a bit of a fondness for the 5170. But it's not worth me doing it. It's just too much work. Yeah, as I said, hopefully Happy Wheels soon. News about Pandora visit and prices. I can't talk about prices for Pandora. I presume those who pay by bank transfer get the colour manual. Yes. Look. Only people who pay by bank transfer and Wise will get this. Yeah. Not again. I am talking a lot, aren't I? Oh, God. I'm going to have to cut this short soon. Is that turning off quicker? That wasn't half hour. So, yeah, look. Colour. Is it colour inside? Yeah, it is colour. I thought I'd have a look. Yeah. Let's find the colour page. There you go. Yeah. It's not focusing because I kind of focus it on the monitors. But yeah, so 120 pages. So that'll go in the box. If you paid by... I'm not doing it as a separate option. So if you paid by Wise, it's my thank you for saving me 25 quid. Do you know what I mean? Not that I complain about the credit cards because it's business. That's business, yeah. And I always knew that. But it is really great that people have done this because over hundreds of monitors is quite a lot of money. So it's actually really handy. Yeah, box does look nice. Oh, hang on. Box does look really good. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the box. I mean, Paul wanted to do a colour one, but I said no because it's just too expensive to make. And also I've had complaints from people saying, I've got this bloody great big box I don't want to throw out because it looks too good. Whereas you can throw that one out. Unless you want to keep it. A lot of people keep them. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's the best box. You should see some of the monitor boxes. In fact, go and have a look. Oh, what's this? Styrofoam. I know. Right? I know. Later, right? Because money. Yes? Very expensive doing it other ways. Now, my daughter is going to be banging me a lot. If she finds out, she's going to bang me a lot harder than you are. But I want these monitors to get to you. Now, these are styrofoam, but they're molded exactly to the shape of the monitor. Yeah? So the monitor goes in a plastic bag, it drops into it, and it's perfect. So you can't rattle it. It's perfect shape. Now, later on, we may look into different materials which are a bit more environmentally friendly. But for this 2000, I have to do it this way because cost is just... I've got no choice. I'm sorry, right? Well, great to see the final product, but to be honest, it's not a lot different to that one there. The only difference between that one and that one is that they use the same. It's all the parts are the same color. So those on these other ones, the production prototypes, they're all kind of tests, yeah. And so when they run it, might run it a slightly different color. So that fun there. In fact, that's going to that monitor there is being given to Daniel Henderson, who helped me out with my GS, which is why I really like. I know the Amiga guys are going to go nuts, right? I know, but I've got look. There's an Amiga there, right? There's loads over there, and there's another one here, so loads. But I really like the GS, the little GS. Now, interestingly, the story about the speed turns out to be rubbish, but that monitor was always sat on that one, and so I've promised, because he was going to buy one when they're ready, and I said he could have it at cost price, but he helped me so much that he can have that, and so he'll have a pre-production version. So I'm looking forward to taking that over to him. So yeah, that's that. Let's have a look. Right, I've got to say the box is actually smaller than I imagined. I think I had a mental image of, yeah, it's a lot bigger. There's a lot of foam around. You can go by the measurements. There's a lot of foam and two thick boxes, strong boxes, two strong boxes. So a strong box, foam in polystyrene and styrofoam, whatever it's called, inside it. And then that drops into another box to protect the whole thing in the container. So they're really strong. So they should be able to throw them down a flight of stairs and they'll survive. I'm not going to test it. But there you go. Also, a lot better than my cases boxes, which I improved as I went along. We did the original old cardboard. And we had one or two, I think, that literally got destroyed. But the rest of them got there fine. It was just... sometimes the internal bits kind of got shook a bit and it broke the cardboard. So this time with this foam inside, keep it protected. That's come across the world. I turned it on, it worked. It was perfect. So I'm really pleased with that. I'll buy a second one once I receive my first. Yes, I look. I said this. We've got a number of people buying 2 or 3. And, you know, a lot of people say, should I buy some more? So, well, you can, but to be honest, I mean, look, trust me. Look, I don't make these to please you. I make these to please me. And if I'm happy, I hope then other people are happy. And that's all I do. And if people have seen my cases, you know what I'm like. And so this is a lovely bit of kit. And if you open it up, look at the metal chassis inside of it. As John Hammond in Jurassic Park said, spared no expense. Except polystyrene. Alright, so yeah, I think most people will be... I think the only thing we're going to have is the good, the bad and the ugly bit. If you watch that and watch the bad and the ugly, they're the only things. If people haven't watched the bloody thing and don't understand it, I've been really clear from day one about all of this, what it's good and what it's not. And if they try and then compare this to a $600, $700 retro Tink, I'll be furious because it's not, okay? It's a bloody good product. Light years better than the system it was originally based on. Much, much better. But it's not a retro Tink. Yeah, it's not. Now, I'm hoping maybe one day if we sell lots, then the Tink, I can't remember the guy's name. Hopefully he might do a plug-in card. But then again, that'll be blown out because... you know, you never know what we might be developing. And also the Aruda team, if they come out with, if they can actually get theirs done, because it's not as simple as people think. People think, make it so. It doesn't work like that because these are custom panels with very specific needs. So if they get them done, you won't need a Tink because it'll be 15 kilohertz native, right? And it'll look fantastic. So. Right, the SCART adapter, how does it compare to the Retro Tink 5X? It doesn't. Don't be silly. It's not in the same league. Having said that, it's a bit dark. But that's the GS going through it. Looks great. No, I've got, as I said, I've got it a bit dark because if you look if you look over here, I can't even here. So that's the HDMI out from the monitor going into the capture card. So it's good. If you're let's be realistic about this. If you're the kind of person that's going to go, oh, I need to compare it to a retro Tink, you're daft. Yeah. If you want it to look good, and you know, I consider myself one of the 90%ers, right? I'm not looking at this as specs. I'm looking at this. Does it do what I want to do? Does it perform well? Will it do 50 hertz, 60 hertz? Does it scale well? Can I accept the frame scanning? Yeah, it's frame scanned, not line scanned. That is the only difference between apart from a few other things, but the main difference between the Tink is it's line scanning and we're frame scanning, but we use GBS control, which makes it amazing. I think, as I said, 95% of people will be happy with this, but this is why I did the good, bad and the ugly. Yeah, so I explain the weaknesses. Now, I don't think the scaler's got any weaknesses, all right? If you, as I said, it's frame scanning. It's not line scanning. That's the only difference between, really. That's the key difference between the two. It can't compete with the 4K. It's that 4K costs more than the bloody monitor with the scaler and everything else in it. Yeah. Having said that, we're experimenting. So. But that's way down the road when app is better. Do you have any plans for other colours? No. Yeah, I mean, let's cover that. I mean, look, for fun. I mean, well, no, I'm not planning on making it. It's stock. I mean, can you see how big they are? So black. I'd rather just do one colour. So having black and white. I want it to go with my CDTV. So of course I wanted a black, and there's a lot. So we know by the figures, 2/3 white, 1/3 black. So there is a lot of people want black, but other colours, no. And no, the answer is no. And if we ever did it, it would be a one-off run, and we'd have to be pestered to do it, because you can't make less than 500. Really, it's just not viable. And so we're just never going to do it. So, yeah, I've answered the how do you expect it to compare to a Retro Tink 5X? Do you have any plans for? No, I've done that one. So it's been a while. I forgot. What's the resolution of the USB output to backers? What's the relation? Okay. So, well, as far as the backers are concerned, there's initially the idea of the HDMI output was it was a plug-in little board that you would put on there, and it gives you HDMI output. But as it turns out, we just stuck it on the base board. So in the end, we was able to put all that on the standard slot. So every single board with slot 0, which is every monitor, has HDMI out on it. Now, the only catch with this is the fact that when I was testing it, I've got Blackmagic capture cards, which is high-ish end stuff. Didn't recognise 1280 by 1024 because it's outputting the panel's resolution, 1280 1024. And some people go, oh, that's not PAL. No, because it scales. The resolution of the monitor is 1280 1024, and that gets sent out as a direct feed with audio. Some people, it's important, and if their capture card don't do it. So basically the HDMI output option literally became, we've got a little an HDMI to USB 3. It works on USB 2 as well, funny enough. Little capture dongle. I've not got one in front of me, but it's just a USB dongle, and it will work with this monitor. So if you need it for that, buy it, it'll work. But you might not need it. So that's that. I'd get a bag, but excessive shipping cost. Bag, cause the shipping's enough. Well, it depends where it's going. It's a big box. So basically, it's about another 30 mil of depth. Oh, 15 mil. So it's half the volume again of the monitor. That's why it's expensive, because it's volumetric shipping. But so the bag's 50 quid, and if you ship into America, it adds about 30 quid. Australia, probably 40, maybe 45. So it's, but I guarantee when you see the bag, you'll want one. For a minute, I thought we had a China Live. No. Have you learned any Chinese? Ni hao. Hang on. Hen Gao Xin Ren Xin Yi. One. Which is pleasure to meet you. Oh God. That was my two go-tos. But here's the thing, right? It's not me being like, well, it is kind of a little bit, but it's not completely me being lazy, because I said to them, can you help me speak Chinese? And all they keep saying to me is, yeah, but we want to practice our English. We don't get many English people here, so we want to practice. Great. Okay, fair enough. And that's where these phones with the translators come in. Brilliant. Have you got a C64? Yes. Did you not see the C64 picture? Hang on. Hang on. To chat. Let me go to the bottom. Oh, hang on. Go to the bottom. There you go. C64. You'll be seeing these pictures around soon, because I'm going to be I'm going to actually do the videos with these pictures at the front. So we're going to use these and share them and what have you. If you want the pictures on my site, just go to my site. They're only 1280 720p. So if you do want high resolution pictures, I don't mind sending them to you. Bear in mind, we don't want you taking off the pre-order bit. Is there, I paid Paul to do them. I want them to be advertising my product, obviously. Okay. I hope to buy another when they ship from the US. Yes, that's in the future. I've got a company out there that's interested, but we need to discuss them. It's a small company. I'm not going to mention who. I have a Retro Tink 4K and was planning to use the monitor for consoles. Most of the time I'll use a scaler with the Mister. My use case is high quality screen I could easily move about. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Is the white plastic colour matched to any particular computer? No. That's a really good question. Right, let me have a quick sweep. That's a really good question. Now, let me tell you a little story. When I did my first... Well, let's put this back to... When I did my first Kickstarter, which was the Amiga cases, which you can see a black one here. The white one, I didn't want to make it pure white because it's stupid. But I didn't know what colour. So I basically, because there was so many, there was 1,500 people in the Facebook group for the case as I was developing it. I did a poll. And I said, give me some options. So we put 4 options up. And then they were allowed to add their own options. And then after, I think it was 2 weeks, top of the, by a long shot, was the colour we picked, RAL 1013, which is oyster white, which is actually, as it turns out, it's actually a good match for 1200s and 600s and that kind of thing. But it's a good little colour that looks nice on most systems. So, but it was no particular, I'm sure the people who voted, well, I think they were mostly Amiga fans. So there was a lot there, because it does look really good on the 1200. Assuming it's a white one, So to follow up, if we bought the HDMI output option, now we're getting a USB dongle. Yeah, I know the computer, but everyone's getting, because the idea was it was going to be an output. Well, everyone's getting the output, and I thought, well, to be fair, I want to make sure that everyone can use the output because it wasn't working on mine. So I just made it so that that was the dongle, because it's not a cheap dongle. It's not expensive, I can tell by the price. But so I made that the thing that would be the HDMI output option, because everyone's getting HDMI out. These pictures do look really nice. Yep. Are you going to swag? I am really busy, but I am thinking about it. I don't know yet. I do need to go and do more, especially now I'm opening up pre-orders. I am thinking about doing more, but I'm not sure yet. I need YAM beta customizing. Oh, hang on. I need a YAM beta customizing kit, Philips logo, and a piece of black tape. Oh, okay, so I've done a flyby on that. When is swag? I don't know. Swag in chat. Oh, is that Dave? Oh, okay, yeah. I can't wait to be able to buy from the European Union. Yeah. What's that? Michael, my European distributor, he may have even already put the page up. He's not taking pre-orders yet because I'm sorting out the backers first. But we will be in the new year getting some to him, and then you can buy them from Europe, and it solves the whole. The VAT is not really, it's a nothing, but the only thing that is fair enough is the fact of when it comes to doing your VAT, they have a handling charge, which is really annoying. It's about €12, something like that. It doesn't matter if it's £10,000 or £10, it's still €12, which is a bit annoying. But that's the charge you get. But the VAT, tough. You got to pay VAT. Even for Michael, it'll cost exactly the same. So there might be a little bit in exchange rate, but basically it's pretty much the same. But it does make your life a lot easier. Once he's got them there, you'll get them within probably next day or pretty quick. So we're hoping going forward that you can just buy them from Europe. It makes my life easier. Send him a container full of monitors. Yeah, Dave. I don't know yet. I because when I'm not working, I'm spending time with my little boy and my wife. So at the moment, what's the easiest way to upgrade my Appy Scaler with SVDR RF module with the leftover credit from the usual bag? I think it's a £5 difference. I'll just email me, put it on there. I mean, you still got to pay. No, you haven't got to pay shipping. If it's a cut, I'll just discount it. Don't worry about it. Send me an email. Add the S video to it. Make sure you get your credits. Because there'll be no shipping because it'll go in the pack, and then I'll just credit it. We'll sort it out. Swag Workbench, 12th October. Yeah, the trouble is it's in Yorkshire, which is quite a long way from me. I have got a friend up there I could go and visit, but it's that being away. I've got a 5-year-old, all right? Now, who likes playing games, actually, fun enough. I'm happy you're adding the USB to dongles. I have Black Magic. Yeah, there you go. This is what I've got, and it don't work. It does not work. So I've got one of the dongles sitting in the back of my Mac, my big Mac Pro. I haven't tried the Elgatos. I didn't get burned by Black Magic. It's just that the 1280 1024 is such an old... Everyone doing video is widescreen. It's all it is. And it just doesn't recognise the signal. So we've got the dongle. You can plug it into USB, 2 or 3. 3 would be better for speed. But it's peanuts for that, Also knows what we will be having microphone and some tail talks. Oh, you're doing Bristol. Sorry. What did I see that? I thought I saw Swag was in Yorkshire. When is it? I'll have a look. I do need to do some PR, but I think most of the people probably know about it anyway, and they'll probably. But it would be nice. I wouldn't be bringing the production ones because I've only got my pre-production ones. We'll see. Start the drive. I'm sure it said Swag. But yeah, I know it's Southwest Meager. That's why I was confused. I'm sure it said Swag, but I bought the BM 4K to digitize old videotapes and ended up buying an extra hardware SCART to HDMI upscaler. Right. Okay. Look, I'm gonna go. There's no more questions. Right. Because it's 9 o'clock now, and I like seeing my wife for a little while. You know what I mean? Any more questions? If you've got any more questions, get them in now, and I'll hang on. Oh, is that what it is? I help with the Yorkshire group. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry. Okay, Dave. That's probably where I got confused. You should go, now that you have credit card payments, get some of those instant FOMO orders. No, but I'm not in a rush. Well, actually, no, I am, because I want people to pay their balances. If everyone pay their balance, it will be so easy. It'll be so easy. Everyone's saying, waiting for the credit cards. So I'm going to be accused of whining again. Anyway, but I did the whole thing with the funny thing was, I'm not going to mention who it was, but someone contacted me, really smart person, didn't realise about having to pay for the panel, even that, and I sent the pictures, look, but I didn't read it, I just saw it was yours and then just went, yeah, I'll have it. So yeah, it's nothing to do with people. Some people just go, yeah, I'll have that and pay. What do you mean I've got to pay more? Because they just don't read it. But that's life, you know what I mean? Yeah, alcohol free. Yeah, to my birthday. Have a great time. Don't worry much, Mayo. Next time. I don't even know. Dave, do me a favour. Send me the date. Send me the date because You have to remember my wife's sister lives in Bristol, so I could come along, drop Caroline and Alfie off, right, and come say hello for the day. So I could do it. I don't know what the dates are. So Dave, just send me a message, and then we'll offline. We'll have a chat. 5-minute warning on the camera turn off. Yeah, October the 12th. Oh, it's not too bad. I'll talk to you offline. It might be all right. As I said, I want to go along and talk. I'll see. Right, I'm going to go. Thanks so much. Hopefully this was informative and lots of likes. Do like that. Oh, by the way, I should have done this at the beginning. If you like my content, could you subscribe? Oh, and like and share and shit like that. Anyway, because I'm like 6,700. It is growing very, very slowly, right? But it would be nice. I'd like to get some more subscribers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the joke. 2 jokes. No, I'm not doing it every week. Yeah, I know. I'm asking a lot. Just pressing a button. Anyway, I'm gonna go. So thanks very much for joining in. Thanks for watching it live, because it's always good fun, because I get lots of questions. It'd be pretty boring otherwise. It'd just be me going, or like the first half hour. Anyway, I'm gonna go. When I can find the button. I found the button, and I'm about to press the button. Dad jokes. What have I done to deserve this? Yeah, I know. Bye. See you soon.